Our first presenting company is Alan Witters. Alan is the CEO of Gravitas Infinitum. Alan, take her away.
Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be here. For the investors out there, there's one more thing that's a little more exciting than doing a startup. That's doing a startup in a startup industry. We're talking about exponential risk, exponential rewards, and it really requires exponential planning. Gravitas Infinitum is an impact holding company, so we're focused on ESG and SDG principles. And we have two active projects right now, Gravitas Cannabis, which is the hemp biomaterials, which we're talking about today. And we just launched T4L, a Transportation for Life, a Tesla auto subscription service. Keep your arms and legs in the ride at all time. We're going to talk about Plant 1. This is a focus project in the hemp biomaterials area. This has multiple raises going on. Phase 1, we're raising $12.5 million direct. This builds basically phase 1 of Plant 1. And I'll go into what Plant 1 is in a second. We also have already started on phase 2 with Castle placement on a $75 million round that actually modularly builds out our biomaterials plants. And then we've been working with Morgan Stanley, who's been vetting all of our numbers, to actually roll these out into a multi-campus model. So what do? We do waste plastics to biomaterials. And you're going, wow, that's pretty cool. So the process is really simple. We take waste plastics, we do thermomechanical conversions of it. We assemble what comes out of the waste plastics in that conversion process into light, water, minerals, and captured CO2. And again, we're taking stuff that looks like this, really ugly things, and we then run it through what we call as the hemp biomachine. And we do this in what we call as a high density biofactory. And it comes out with all of these chemicals and materials. And we work at the nano level, the molecular level. We saw this industry and we analyzed and we said, you know, the whole industry pretty much is starting out in 1938. They're still talking decortication, they're talking oils, things that you can just take right off the top. And it didn't really exploit the complete value of the hemp plant. And so when you look at our process, we actually go after about 1,000 different marketable biomaterials. The way we're structured is we have 3 areas and 8 zones. We take plastics waste in, we generate energy, CO2, and again, everything is focused on impact. In our biodensity, our biofactory area, we have cloning, a growth area, and a finishing area. Our cloning, we have 3 types of cloning we do that will be standing up is typical stick cloning, that's conventional, and that helps us do propagation of species. We also are doing micropropagation that's fully automated, and we're also in advanced stages of somatic embryogenesis, which is basically synthetic seeds. And that helps basically guarantee that you've got great bioproducts coming out. Our high-density biofactories are fully automated hydroponic growing systems that can take a small plant that's 3 or 4 inches tall and in 30 days grow it to a 10-pound plant. And this is not about making the prettiest Christmas trees or getting the best oils out. It's about producing the most amount of biomass across the whole plant as possible. We have proprietary processing capabilities that are organic, that do not use any solvents, do not use any temperature changes, and thus we produce and literally can produce about 600 different molecules, 400 different combinations, and all 113 cannabinoids. So it's also about creating jobs. Everybody knows the job problem, and these are our impact zones. 42% of every pound that we grow in these systems is a carbon capture credit. We also remediate a lot of water. So the biomaterials, you saw this earlier, we're focused on the building blocks and secondary chemicals. This is what we refine. And then downstream from us, companies would take those and turn them into bioplastics, biopapers, biofood products, all those types of things. The materials that we will be marketing next year after we build plant one basically are right here. And the right section is all the oils that are available out there. And this is going to be of high interest to everybody in the CBD market because, again, we expose 113 different cannabinoids. Our processing doesn't require any drying. We actually take the whole plant, the roots, the stalks, the flowers, we homogenize it, and we basically take it down to the molecular level right away. And from a processor perspective, we can go anywhere from 20 tons a day to 400 tons pretty easily. The plant one design is, if you walked into an Amazon facility and looked at the automation, it's very similar. We went to all the best and brightest warehouse automation guys and said, we want to do hydroponics in an automated fashion. We want to do cloning in an automated fashion. We want to do this also, it's basically a lights out operation. A lot of my team comes from lights out data centers, so we're used to this kind of environment. And this is what we have designed. Phase one.
Alan, this is Jim Fitzpatrick.
Yep.
I just want to let you know your microphone is a little bit garbled.
Okay.
So if you had it, that actually sounded a lot better.
All right. I won't talk as loud then.
Perfect. And you are at the end of your 6 minutes. If you could just wrap it up, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, we'll wrap it up right now. This will actually produce 1.6 million pounds of biomass per month. The way to participate as an investor is either through the holding company level or through our project subsidiary level. Our financials just on the phase one, we try to drive 90% gross margins and 70–80% net margins. In the business strategy, this is an area that everybody wants to know, show me the money. And, you know, this is where we've been working with off-takers. Every one of our off-takers we've worked with require more than the whole industry can actually produce, a single one of them. And so we focused on the industrial scale of this.
Excellent. Alan, you're at 7 minutes. I want to leave some time for the judges.
Okay.
Judges, any questions for Alan?
Alan, nice presentation. Thank you. It certainly seems like you're addressing some of those issues I brought up earlier. Go back to that slide where there's area one, and you're taking the plastics. And now I'll give you that gallon milk jug. And when you're done with that, that part of the process, there's nothing left of that plastic milk jug. Is that correct?
Yeah, and we take all types of plastic, no matter what. In Florida, there was, yep, go ahead.
100% totally eliminated until which time you can source that back out to a plastic manufacturer who will then inject their new plastic molds or plastic material into it to reuse it that way. So I guess my question is, if it's waste plastic eliminated, is it 100% biodegradable at that point?
Okay, so what we do is we pyrolyze the plastic, we turn it into oil, we turn that into energy, light, heat, and CO2 that we then feed the hemp plants.
Got it. I didn't pick that up.
Yep. And then the hemp plant, we actually generate nanocellulosic crystals, which then can be turned into all kinds of plastics. And so we actually are supporting a full loop of guilt-free, a full cyclical loop for guilt-free plastics.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Judges, any other questions for Alan?
Well, I would just, again, you didn't have enough time, Alan, so it was hard to get sort of a sense of the operating team that will spin out of Holdco to run it, what their capabilities are. It's a $12.5 million raise. We don't understand really how much money's gone in so far, what the aspirational valuation is. So I think a lot of that is because you didn't have a lot of time, but why don't you maybe take a moment to address those?
Yeah, so there's been around $600,000 in cash put in from our holding company to get it through the engineering phases. There's been about $8.3 million intellectual property injection from another outside company. And we're raising capital right now for Plant One. Plant One, $12 million invested will generate around $25 to $27 million of revenue. And that's at a highly discounted wholesale value to the current market.
Yeah, any comments about the team? Like, go-to-market team that's actually going to take
Yeah,
that out
there's
to generate?
we have about 10 management involved with this out of the holding company. Several of us have taken companies public. We're highly diversified. We've done, as a team, we've probably done $3 to $5 billion worth of fundraisings and deals, 20, 30 billion dollars in contracts.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other judges have a question? We've got about a minute and a half.
Yeah, hi, Alan. This is Chris Cuvelier. Where does the plastic come from that you're using in this process? It seems like there's obviously a huge issue with plastic in the environment, and there's companies like 40 Ocean that are mining the ocean for plastics. So just curious if there's a really good sustainability opportunity here.
Yeah, there is. We've been working with the local recycling waste pickup companies and the cities and state. In Florida, where I'm located, there were 540,000 tons of plastic picked up 2 years ago. They only recycled
Alan, your mic
45
again.
tons. They only recycled 45 tons. And so 91% of waste plastic goes into landfills. They're now going to start being penalized for that. And that's what we will be picking up and converting.
Got it. Thank you.
Excellent. Alan, as a reminder, check the chat room. Someone would like to get in contact with you. Wonderful job.